to be a friend, you got to choose to be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to impress others by saying and doing things you think that will make them like you. And this goes doubled if your actions would be contrary to God's word in any way. Remember, you are looking for a friend who isn't phony, who isn't pretending to be someone when he really is someone else. So choose to be what God wants you to be. Be a young man or a young woman who honors the Lord. You probably wouldn't want to be the most popular guy in school, but if you will be you, you will be genuine. And you will be free of all the inner conflict that a lot of people are experiencing, a lot of young people are experiencing today, and adults also. When you are comfortable with who you are, then others will also feel comfortable when they're around you. They might not share your beliefs, but they will respect you for what you stand for. And remember, there's a saying that stand for something or fall for anything. So just be yourself. Be friendly and helpful to everyone, but don't hesitate to be bold and put God first. Try your best to live His way and hang out with others who put God first also. As you do so, God will bring along like-minded people to be your friends. And you want to choose friends that are in the same mindset as yourself. You know, the Bible tells us that the blind lead the blind, and they both fall into the ditch. So you don't want to choose a friend that is blind and trying to lead you. And when I say blind, I'm talking about blind to the Word of God, blind to the love of God, blind to the expectations of God. Choose a friend that loves God, that honors their parents. Because remember, the Bible tells us the 10 Commandments, read it. Young people, you're not listening to your parents and you're talking back to them and talking about them and slandering them. Your parents, listen, God has a commandment with purpose. Honor your mother and your father for length of days. Oh my goodness, you need to understand that. Don't be like some young people dishonoring their parents, shouting at them, cursing at them. You might say, but you don't know my mother and father. I know if they brought you into the world, they are your parents. And you might not like them, but God can change them. And remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty. And that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. That means David West stars the Stories of the Kaz Walker Show here on WYSH Radio. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, folks. How are you this morning?
As Mr. Walker said, we hope you're at there. You know, I was just thinking about him singing that. we're here and we hope you're there. If there wasn't nobody out there, it wouldn't be no use us being here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but you say that we're here. Well, something like that. Hope you're out there. And we got a special guest this morning. We've got Angela, and Angela is in the antique business. She runs Florida Antiques, and we're going to talk to her and interview her just a little bit. And you're at where, Powell?
In Powell, yeah. I'm at 1900 West Emory Road in Powell. I'm just down the road from Powell High School.
Oh,
so if you know where Powell High School is, then you can find us.
Find you.
Yeah.
How long you been in business?
Well, coming up on the 15th of this month, it'll be 10 years. So we're having a big celebration and asking you guys to sing. I'm super excited about that. But having you come in there with your band on the 17th, which is a Saturday, we're going to have you guys sing and have food trucks and prizes. I think we've got over 200 prizes to give away. We're going in with a couple of other businesses right there, Creekside Snow, Frightworks, if you know where Frightworks is, and the Unique and Affordable Home Designs, and we're all going to host you guys. And
a big car show, too.
Oh, yeah, big car show. Lots of prizes and trophies. Trophies.
Man.
So, 4 to 7. So if you want to show up 4 to 7 with your fantastic car, or if not so fantastic car.
If I'm walking straight, I think I'll bring my goat truck.
Oh, please do. Please do.
What's them people out there, Larry, in real estate?
Oh, yeah. Laura and Larry Bailey.
Yeah. Larry Bailey,
Yeah.
He called me and said, would you bring it? I had a hog in it. It's 36 Chevrolet.
Yeah.
And so I took it up to Expo. He said, David, would you do me a favor? And I said, well, if I can. He said, I think you can. He said, bring that pig truck up here once, sitting right at the entrance so people can start looking at it and raise the hood and everything. So I took it up for him, and then I let Mike West, my cousin, have a truck, a 42 like it I started out with. And so we put the pig in it, and we built a lot on the back, a really cool. Put that big old pig, it's a hog in pig. And so I put the goats. I got 2 goats in the back line there. So we got the goat truck
and a pig truck.
Hog truck. And then we got another Avon's, one for 29 first places. And he's got the big old turkey in the back yet. So,
I ain't seen the turkey in it.
you have to have animals. You don't have trucks.
Well, you still got those?
Yeah. Mike's got 2 of them. He'll bring one of them.
Yeah, please bring one. That'd be fun.
Yeah, he'll bring one of them. See, I started with a 42. When I was just a kid, I traded a young boy. I traded my car for a 42 and started, and it was a little bit rusty and looked real bad. So I went, painted with a brush. I got a big wide brush, and I painted, put white walls on it.
Ooh.
But I went to get a professional sign painter. I worked for a sign company a little bit. And they put David Cider Place on the back end on the door. Oh, it looked good. He helped me sharpen it up a little. You couldn't hardly tell it was a brush. Of course, the brush looked better than the rust. So.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, kept it from
rusting. Oh, man, did I make money of that. I'd take my banjo and put it behind the seat. And I just get out and play with one. I wasn't playing for a living at that time. I was just real young, and I was just priming.
Yeah, priming, yeah.
Yeah, so I got there and picked one, and these people had gardens. I didn't know I was selling it then. This man come out and bought his wife out. He said, I was under a shade tree picking for his wife.
Yeah.
He come out and he said, she had a bunch of stuff. She bought tomatoes and potatoes. I don't know what I was sitting on the back. What's wrong with you, woman? Said, where are you buying all this stuff? Well, we got it going bad down here in the garden. She said, you get out here and get back in the house. This boy's trying hard to make a living, and I'm supporting him. Well, she run him off. I just kept picking.
Yeah, kept going.
Oh, goodness. Let's talk a little bit more about you and the show. What did you do before you went in the antique business?
Oh gosh, I was a stay-at-home mom forever, and I had a few people that believed in me, and I didn't believe in myself, so I decided to open up like a estate sale type business to help older people, because a lot of times I'll get the phone call that mom's been put in assisted living, or dad, or they passed away, and the family doesn't know what to do with the house and all the stuff. And so I said, I've got a solution for that. So I had a big warehouse, and I would actually go and pick up the furniture from the house so that they could sell the house. move all the stuff over and sell it for the family and then give them, the money.
Oh, yeah.
So it worked out great. That's how it started. And then it ended up, we did estate sales on site in houses. And then I had a real fancy piece of artwork one day, and I thought, gosh, I don't know enough about this artwork. I'm scared to sell it and scared it'll be worth thousands of dollars and I'd sell it for 20. So I went to an auctioneer and I said, I need your help selling this. And he said, you know what you need to do? You need to become an auctioneer. And I said, why would I want to be an auctioneer? And he said, honey, you can make more money doing that than what you're doing right now. And I said, okay, well, how do I do it? He said, you got to go to school. You got to go to auctioneer school. So I actually signed up at a place called Tullahoma, of all places, but it's called Nashville Auction School. Yeah. They've since moved it, but I drove to Tullahoma and stayed there for a couple of weeks, and you sit under a auctioneer teacher and you learn to auction and you learn all the ins and outs of it. And the state of Tennessee requires you to do that, and then you have to apprentice under somebody. So I did that. So while I was at auction school, they said, now, why are you just selling the stuff? Why don't you sell the property? And I thought, well, I'd never thought of that. And they said, yeah, real estate's where it is. You got to make some money, not just the stuff, sell the whole house. So I came back, I went to real estate school, got my real estate license. So now I can sell property. I can auction property and auction everything in the house. So I can sell everything but the cat.
Oh, that's good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Ron,
one-stop shopping.
That's right. I do it all.
Ron's one of my best friends. Sell him out quick.
No, five.
Can't do the people.
Hey, go ahead.
No, I can't auction people. I'm sorry. That don't work.
Sell his
Okay, 5, 55, 10, take it big wrong, 10, 15, sold 15 right over there in the corner. So yeah, I learned to auction, but now everybody's online. They're all online. Everybody.
This guy was doing that one night. He said, then he was rattling it all off, and he said, sell to Dolly Parton. And that guy said, no, that's two bald-headed men. Ron told me to do that.
He did.
Yeah.
He keeps me in trouble.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Dave.
I've got my auctioneer license hung at Bear Stevenson Auction and Realty in Cleveland.
Bear's my buddy.
Yeah, Bear is your buddy. He said I had to mention his name today because you and him do. What do you do?
Oh, we do the Clinton Fair.
Clinton
We've been
Fair.
doing it
Okay.
34 years, I believe he said.
Wow. To have you entertain there?
Yeah, I take my show there. Yeah, I do
okay.
the big show for, what is it?
The Senior Day.
Senior Day. Yeah, I've been doing it. We have crowds on that thing. We pile them in.
Well,
I've been doing it. I asked him one time about 10 years ago.
You've been doing it longer than 34. I've been doing it 35, and you've been doing it every year. That you.
Yeah. I've done it before that, wasn't I?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've done it when that other people on this station.
Yep. So you've been doing it longer than that.
Oh, am I? But anyhow, about 10 years ago, I said, Bear, he hadn't called me. It's about showtime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 or 3 days off. I said, Bear, am I playing the fire this year? And he said, David, as long as I live, you're going to play fire. And as long as you live, I'm going to play the fire. And if one of us die, it's out. I'm not going to play it without you. And I said, I know you ain't going to go. I said, no.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He's
one
a
of
good
my best buddies.
Yeah, he's good.
Bear, he's an auctioneer. He sells that stuff, doesn't he?
Boy, he does. He's got a lot of stuff. He gets me into some fun places. We sold, last year, we got a big antique store down in Lenoir City. Now, this place had been abandoned. The people had died. And
they had some big ones.
They had some big, this was.
I've been there a lot. Which is kind of like Clinton.
They had I liked the way it was laid out. The store was in the basement. Then above it was their living quarters. So all they had to do was go downstairs to sell, go upstairs and, hang out. So he ended up selling that. So I sold all the stuff out of it and he sold the property. And that was fun because you got to see stuff from way back. Those people had been doing that forever before the internet existed. So they had stuff, man, some really cool stuff. Really? I can't remember the name. I think it was West. I think the name was West Antiques or something like that. That store. They're not related to you, are they?
I don't know.
I think that was the name of the store. but I don't know the guy's name. Bear would know it, but I
He
can't
didn't say
remember.
owed me money or nothing.
I don't know.
You're out of luck if you did.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone now.
He did. I'm not wasting my name, David Earl.
Yeah, do something else. Yeah. But it was cool. But he gets us some crazy places to go, and a lot of places I go and look where he's got his property or real estate. My phone don't even work. I mean, we're out in the nowhere boonies.
Yeah.
So
He's called me on a few of them. In fact, I bought one from him a few
Really?
years ago.
Okay.
House. Yeah.
He's got another
Sure
one
did.
coming
Over
up. I
on,
know.
the one he lived in it.
Okay.
Over on what's that?
Dutch Valley?
Eastwood Valley?
What valley?
Eastwood Valley, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where that big pond is. Right
Yeah,
about that.
Eastwood Valley.
Burr had that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was the owner of that.
Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've bought houses. Come down the road, and this guy said, I got a house I need to sell. I said, I can't. Said, I got a long lease on it with a fella, and said, I don't know how we can sell it. Neither one of us. I said, shoot, y'all sign a paper and sell it to me. Just leave the guy in there. I said, is he a good renter? He paid. Yeah, I thought I wanted to make sure he was a good renter. And I bought that thing. He said, you going to look at it? I said, no, you didn't told me everything's true, ain't it? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I just bought it, paid him for it. I didn't see it for about 3 years, and they called me when something happened to the plumbing. And I had to go over and see it. And sold it back to a real estate company after all these years of renting.
That's the best way to do it.
It is.
That's a
That's
good deal right there.
I've bought several, not a lot, but some of them.
Yeah.
Like that down on Edgemore, right there next to the cemetery, I bought that.
Mm-hmm.
And kept it 3 months, fixed it right back at my school teacher's house. I
Oh.
put it right back just like it was, and she had it. And Gail Martin used to be lecture commissioner over. She was sitting on the swing down there, and she said, don't you ever sell this. This is so pretty. And when I was a little kid, I'd look at it and I'd say, boy, I wish I lived in a house like that. It was the prettiest house down there in that day.
Yeah.
She built it in 32. I was born in 42. And anyhow, I always dreamed that, and I come through there, and me and Rocky Top, Ken, ain't it his name? Me and him was coming up through there, and he just riding with me. I don't know where we're going, maybe look at his property. And I said, look, that's for sale. And he said, you want it? And I said, that's my school teacher. I might like to have that.
Yeah.
And he said, call me, and it's a repossession, California. And they told me what they want. And I said, I'll tell you what you give them. Right now, I'll lay the cash on somebody. And they said, well, he put $1,000. He said, any amount you want. So I bought it. And I used to say that, but I'd buy it and kept it 3 months and sold it to real estate people with $1 in it. We fixed it back. White. The
Nice,
garage had the green
yeah.
roof.
Oh, yeah.
And warehouse had a green roof. And I put a big birdhouse out front, painted white with a big green. I dolled it up pretty good. And it was so. I remember when I was driving up the road, back then she's about the only one that had TV around here.
Oh, okay.
She had that big old long pipe.
Antenna.
And all of that, the brackets was still up there, and I was going to put it up for her, and I sold it for her.
Oh,
But anyhow,
That's a good idea,
lots of things happens at these shows, and you go back and buy some of this stuff, and you think some poor grandpa or grandma really had a time here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Mm-hmm. I've come across some really cool collections. Those are my favorite, I guess, when I go into a house. It's sad, that they've passed away, but some of these men have served in World War II, and a lot of their collections are things that they've gotten, back when they were based overseas, and they brought things back, and sadly, sometimes the family doesn't want all of it, so I really try to take good care of that stuff. When you resell it, you got a lot of collectors out there.
Okay.
So when I sell stuff, I put it all over the internet, and we sell it in a lot of different ways. I do a live show every Sunday night where I sell small trinkets, 50 items or so. But when we sell these big estates, we put it up on a nationwide platform and make sure that it gets out there to everybody. But I know that they had a lot of memories in these houses, and I feel like I'm the torch carrier because he's young over here, but I feel like if you told me a story about something, I want to pass it to him.
Okay.
If he's buying something, I want him to know where it came from, and who had it and what, where you got it.
That's
and all
good.
that. So I like to do that.
What she's saying is it's piece has got character.
The character, yeah. The character.
Yes.
I want to keep the story alive when I pass it to somebody, and I feel like he would appreciate that. And whoever buys it, whatever, they would appreciate it more if they knew the background, and they knew this belonged to Miss Minnie that was the school teacher down the road, 1950, and she never had kids, but she treasured this and saved all of her money for this, and now he's bought it, and, that gives it character.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's a pedigree. That's really.
Pedigree. It's got a pedigree. Papers with it.
Got paper with it.
Yeah.
Well, the story sells the piece.
It does. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I try not to make up stories. I guess I could make it more valuable, but I try not to.
Exactly.
Yeah. This came from the Louisiana swamp. They took it off an old spooky man.
My dad used to say, "My name's David Earl," and somebody said, "David Earl," because my dad was Claude Earl, and I said, "Yeah, I was named after Earl Scruggs." I said, "You was?" I said, "I wasn't named before him, so it had to be after him." Hey, I want to ask you a question. It's kind of at the beginning. What was your ambition when you grew up as a little girl? What did you want to be?
Oh gosh. You won't believe it if I tell you, and it's not the same path that I took.
Mine wasn't either. Mine was the opposite of what I took.
So there's two things. First of all, I told somebody this story the other day. So when I was really young, I thought, all girls either want to be a teacher or nurse or whatever. I thought, I'll be a nurse. Well, my dad was a very handyman, hands-on doing stuff, and we lived in the woods. And he went out one day and was cutting down a tree with a chainsaw. Chainsaw slipped and went right in his calf. It didn't cut bad, but it cut enough. And he came in the house, and I looked at it, and I thought, my eyes got real big. The bottom of my feet started feeling funny, and my knees started feeling weird. And I thought, nope, nursing's not for me. There ain't no way. So I chose differently. And then there was a couple of TV shows on that I really liked. And I grew up in a house full of boys, so I didn't know how to act like a little girl or big girl. And there was a TV show on that had a guy that flew a helicopter. And my ambition was to go to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical Engineering School in Florida and fly for Bell Helicopter on the Alaskan pipeline. Can you believe that?
Sure.
That's crazy. My mama talked me out of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the next time you come to Wild Wings, which will be what?
Monday.
Next Monday, yeah.
Is it next Monday?
Yeah.
I believe it's next Monday,
You're
yeah.
going to sing with us over there.
I might, I might
If you
get up
don't
there.
come over
I'm scared.
If you don't come over and do crazy, don't look for me.
Crazy. No, I did. We used to do a show just for fun. It wasn't anything to be paid for.
Well, I was going to pay you for Mark.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Night,
Yeah. No, I gotta drive up Johnson City tomorrow. But the
see, I'll be right on your way down. Just got cut through.
That's true. You're right, actually. These people had a USO show. Like the old timey where they used to do.
Yeah.
So they dressed us all up as different things, and one time I dressed up with two girls, and we sang the Andrews Sisters, the Boogie Woogie View, the boy from Company B. We sang that.
I like them.
The other one was I sang Patsy Cline, Crazy.
You got to do crazy.
Yeah, I got to do Crazy, so I can
That's
do
every
that.
show.
Yeah, every show got to do Crazy. So anyway, I did that, and we had a lot of fun with it. And but yeah, I put on a little wig that looked like her because I know y'all might not be able to see me. I don't have short black hair. So anyway, I tried to look as much like her as I could and sound like her. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, you gonna wear your black hair?
No, I'm not going to be Patsy Cline. I feel comfortable being myself. So.
Okay, you just be your sister.
Yeah. That's
We got Patsy Cline's sister with us tonight.
Yeah.
Angela Klein is going to do us one now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's me. I didn't have I even told them I had people, when I got picking, I got picking good enough to get a job, so I didn't think I was that good, but they did because they needed a banjo picker. They was hard up.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You already knew.
So I went to buy one. My daddy went with me. I was just a young boy. Daddy went with me to get it for me in Gatlinburg, and I got up there, and the guy's been with Sonny Osborne Brothers for a long time, and he quit, but they wanted to give him a three-way split if he'd stay with them, because he was a real good MC. Man, he was good. I got to work with him several years, and he was just the best guy. And he was just himself, just walk out there, and he just helped people do anything he wanted to, and he said, I need you, so he talked country, and he was country, so he didn't just put it on. I need you to pick a banjo first. And I said, I come up here to buy one. And he said, well, I checked on it for you and said it's tied up in divorce court.
Oh.
You couldn't get a Mastertone Gibson at that time. And we found, if we ever found a rundown down on one, me and Daddy go look at it, or tried to, but it's all gone. And he says, tied up in divorce court, but said, I want to hire you. It had an open banjo, this little cheap banjo. And I said, oh, no, I ain't never playing music for a living. That's out. Don't even talk about it. I said, I just don't. So then I was in business, selling cider and stuff. I thought, I got to get some customers. I got to hear some music. I said, well, I can't afford to hire a band. I guess I'll just learn to pick. That's how it started. So
Yeah.
then I got it, and he hired me. I was making $16 a day minimum wage, $1 a quarter, and that's get $2 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
If I played 1 hour with him, I got 20.
Ooh.
2 hours, I got 30.
Yeah.
I was dressed up and had them little ties.
Yeah.
Walk out there, and then another thing was, I guess I helped with it because there's a lot of girls out there, and they started screaming. They being young, you know, when you're a kid, you can get by with a lot more.
Yeah, you can.
I thought it was, I didn't know it was, I thought it was my banjo picking, but I don't know what it was.
A little bit of both.
But you go, sometimes you just go, you know, listen, what did you plan on being an airplane pilot or?
Well, I wanted to be a football player.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I always played sports in elementary school and in high school, but I just finally got out of that. I've crushed my dreams. I wasn't never good enough.
Yeah. Oh, did you play football?
I played football and basketball and baseball all through elementary school.
All of it, okay.
And then I switched schools a bunch of times in middle school, so that kind of made me awkward, and I wasn't really comfortable with everybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I stopped doing that. Then when I got back in high school, I wrestled in high school.
Okay.
So I never ended up being a NFL star, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. But
Dreams go different ways.
that's it.
But what do you do now?
Well, now hopefully, me and Uncle David are opening up a barbershop soon.
That's cool.
Yeah, I cut hair now.
That's cool. And be
I
right
got
there.
a building for a barbershop.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Hey, that's perfect. That's a good stop.
It
That's
is.
a one-stop shop. You can listen to music.
Yeah,
and
we
then
didn't
pay-
like the
gonna
old
play
days.
for 'em.
We didn't like the old days in there.
Yeah.
You live in the back.
Yep.
You walk out and start
There you
cutting
go.
hair. You
That's
come through
it.
one door.
There you go.
Just come on in. You know, if you're in bed, say, yeah, just come in. The shop door's open. Get that
We're
walk
cooking
right
lunch for you.
Just get in. Back when I had way back on Ciderville, I'd have to get up open with them. We had about 10 employees, and I'd get up open with them, and I wasn't sleep because we'd open at 10, and that's about 8, I guess. And I was trying to sleep another hour. Maybe we open at 9. I was trying to get another hour sleeping. I worked so much. And this guy knocked on the door, and he said, what time does that open up there? I said, I think 10 o'clock. I said, 10 o'clock. And he said, whew. At 8:30, and he come along. We talked for a while, and he said, I need to buy a load of stuff. He said, you couldn't open up right now, could you? And I said, well, I'm sitting on my pajamas. I
Yeah.
live in my living room. I live by myself.
Yeah.
Right there where we used to live. And I said, yeah, I guess. Let me get dressed up here. And I went back there and dressed up, put my clothes on, come up there. And this is way back when money was still money. That dude bought $10,000 worth with green stuff.
Wow.
He had it on him. He just started buying right and left. And, you know, I started to say, well, let's wait at 10 o'clock. He might have left.
He probably would have.
But I said, come on. So my sister had come in, she's secretary, and she wrote it all up. This is the truth. She said, what's the name of your business? He said, monkey business, right?
Monkey business.
That's where she wrote that, monkey business. Monkey business, I'll never forget that. Oh, he used to come by. He started buying truckloads from me after that. And he come by one night, we had a concession stand, and this girl that run it, he was over the barn. This guy come stay for show because he's going to, after we close the show up, we're going to go over and load his truck up.
Yeah.
He's from up north somewhere. And so when we did, he went over to the concession stand. He'd just walk around, you know, fidgety, you know, walking inside, walk out, walk over and get a cup of coffee. And she said, I don't know about this guy. I said, your friend there. I said, I think he's hungry. He said, I gave him a hot dog. Well, I mean, this guy had a suitcase of it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
She said, I believe your friend's hungry. I said, I gave him a hot dog. A hot dog, he can buy the place. I didn't give him anything he wants, but,
yep.
You know, you misjudge him. That's fine.
Oh, I know.
But, oh, I tell you, you never know when you start dealing with people who've got it new.
No, I had an old guy come in one time with, scared me to death. I thought he'd come in out of the hillbilly holler. He come in with a beat up old truck and overalls. Looked like he hadn't had a bath in 2 weeks. And just rough looking, you know, and I thought, oh my. And he came in and I had expensive sewing machines that come from Levi's when Levi's was still in business here in Knoxville. And he walked over to them and they had pretty good price, like $500-600 a piece on them. He said, how much you wanting for that? And I said, in my head, I'm thinking, dude, you could not afford this. And I said, it'd be about $500-600. He goes, I think I'll buy them both. And I said, I mean, he goes, well, have you ever done any horse trading? And at that time, I didn't even know what that meant. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, well, I got some stuff and I'll bring it to you. Come to find out, he was an antique dealer. He pulled out a wad of money and he said, here, I'll just give you money right here for this, but I'm still going to give you some stuff. He gave me a huge Coke sign. I've still got it to this day, and I keep it on the wall because that is my lesson, to never judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
Because he could have bought me and the whole place. And I thought he was just a yucky old man with, overalls and poor as a church mouse. Nope, he was not. He wasn't. He really surprised me. But we became good friends, and he just kept selling me stuff. And he passed away, but he was a fun guy. But yeah, that was a good lesson. Good lesson. Don't ever think people can't afford something just by the way they look.
Speaking of big overhauls, the highest Martin, when we took the Martin dealership, the highest one they made was back then was $4,000. It's way back on. Now they're about $12,000. $4,000 was $39.95. Luke Brenner's working there, and the guy walked in. He had his thumbs in them bibs. You know how they do that?
Yeah.
He said, "I need a guitar." I'm looking for a 99 Special or a 49. I said, "Well," I said, what kind of guitar you want?" "Well, just show me one. I want it pretty good." And I said, "I'm gonna put you on this fella right here." And he's a Guitar Specialist, Luke Brenner, one of the greatest there been. Lucas Fair needs a guitar. "Well, what kind do you need?" He said, "I want a good one." And Luke walked over, and I just shook my head and grabbed it. $39.95. Walked over to him, and he was standing there just like this, and he said, "Play me one." Luke hit a little bit of Wildwood Flyer. He said, "How much is that?" And he said, $3,995. He said, "Wrap her up."
Oh, wow.
He was standing in bibs and come out with
a big old wad of money. Yep.
I got to tell you one. I sold monuments, and these two people come in, and they wanted the daughter-in-law or son-in-law one. I believe it's, I don't know, one of them about a monument for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
So she walked in and dipped snuff, and she looked around like that, and she said, "We need to get a monument." And I said, "Well, did you look at me? Yeah, on that big one right there on the corner." And I told her a price. She said, "Whoa, Lordy, whoo, buying something like that." Said, "I'd have to go to First National Bank, get that kind of money." And she reached right down there and pulled out a sack. She's at First National Bank. That's the First National Bank, she said.
First National.
Yeah, and they was in there, somebody was in there looking at Martin, and the second house, Martin, at D41, and this fellow walked in and he said, I'll get me and my wife a guitar with that one and that one. He picked out 2 house prizes in the store. And this other people was kind of looking at one of them and said, what do you have to do? Hold on to them and take them down? Or, well, we'll sell them back in,
Yeah.
How's 13 Martin today?
Wow.
We was putting them out, but you never get. I'll tell you another one. An old boy come in. I was selling cars too back in. I sold everything. It didn't try to sell me. I had no Cadillac out there, and this guy had a nice looking old Ford car. And he pulled in. He was probably worth more than mine, but that's not the way you see it,
Right.
So I told him it'd be a few $100s. I forgot now how much to boot. I just looked at him because I was going to clear his end. And I said, so many $100, and he said, boy, I like it. He's rich and got that old chain, When I got that chain, you can't never underestimate them. He pulled out and said, I believe I'll take it. He said, now, one thing that we got to get straight. I just bought a brand new battery and put in that car yesterday. I'm going to take it out and swap batteries with you. I said, now I'm not giving my new battery up. I said, okay, it's okay. And he went there and changed them. I got to tell you, I told this on TV and radio. This is so funny. They came down from the mountains up here, and they, like you said about taking a bath, they didn't.
Yeah.
They must have been allergic to water or
Yeah,
something like that. But anyhow, they had that hair growed out real long, and you saw it when it's real thick and curly, red, reddish black, and it's got grease in it. But I mean, you don't have to do nothing to hold it. It's just fire.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like what's on a cow.
Yeah.
Old man and his 2 sons. It snowed on the ground about 12 inches, I guess, but some of it froze and it was still going down easy. And I had a garage there, and there was cars were sitting out front of the garage, and I said, he said, I need a car. I said, I kind of like that Chrysler. I said, and it been cold. I said, well, we'll put a battery charger on it, probably get hot enough to start. So we put a battery charger on it. And the other one raised the hood, and I'm standing in the doorway because it's cold. After I just standing in the doorway and had the door.
Mm-hmm.
He said, the other one got a Coke bottle, and he got up over top of it, won't pour gas in the carburetor.
Oh.
Well, when he did, that thing hit, and it caught the carburetor on fire.
Oh, no.
It blew it up because his hair on fire.
Oh, no.
And he started running. His brother tackled him like a football player, threw him down the ground, and started tacking snow on him, and he burnt some holes in his head.
Oh,
This guy put snow on it.
Like Home Alone.
And when this happened, it blew the whole muffler off that car.
Oh, no.
And it just it broke my legs if I'd been stepping on it. It went right by me.
Oh.
This building 45 feet long. It wound up against the wall.
Oh,
and wham, that thing backfired. I didn't know. I just thankful I didn't get my leg broke.
Yeah.
I was watching him, everybody's big eyes. He had him down packing out on him. The old man said, don't cut her off. He said, get them cables off. Go in there and pay. Who do we pay? I said, my sister. She's a notary. Go in there, she fixed papers for you. He said, how much going to let it run? Said, now, boys, when we get home, we're going to have to tighten that muffler up. He said, I believe we blowed it. Can't loosen it first. I believe we got to tighten them up. I didn't say a word. I just said,
it's over way back in the wall.
It took off.
Gosh.
I've had some close scrapes. Tell us another about your best experience or worst.
Oh, the best and worst. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, I mean, we've had the buildings that I've rented have had some strange things in them. So I've had to, a lot of people say stuff's haunted.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So I've had people walk by and, you don't know if they're telling the truth or lying. And I've had people walk by old mirrors before it stopped and look at themselves and go, oh, my gosh, I can see the landscape that used to be in this mirror. I think they're crazy. So we get all kinds of stuff. I know, you never know. I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. So stuff like that. And then, these old buildings have mice, and we'd have to get a cat and stuff like that. But, yeah, so that is the best and worst experience at the same time when you get snakes and cats and mice in your building. But no, I enjoy what I do, and I learn from everybody, and this has been one of the best experiences, I think, in my life. You know, it's a chapter of my life, but learning just all these people, because when you go in somebody's house, you learn everything about them. You know, what they read and who they knew and where they went to church and who they, you know, where they went to school and where they graduated and if they were in the military or how many kids they had. And it's a very big learning experience. So I know this is going to sound crazy, but every single time we go in and do an estate, it is a good and bad learning experience.
I know it.
You know?
Yeah, it's both sides.
But,
nothing perfect. Jesus was one thing perfect, and he killed him, so there's nothing perfect.
Yes.
I want to ask you, you talk about learning about people and stuff. I remember the first time, I guess, I met you in Ciderville, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you was wanting
Kaz Walker stuff, because I years ago, now we bought instruments there. I've got 3 girls, and we bought them all a guitar, the cheap ones that you're talking about, just to learn, because half of them, they didn't want to learn, and they just pretended they wanted to learn. One of them, now she can pick up and listen to anything and learn it in one day. She bought a mandolin there. She's had everything, but she will like watch it on the internet and then copy it. So she's really serious about it. The other 2, not so much. But I had picked up a guitar one day, and I saw a bunch of Kaz Walker shirts in the back, and I thought, I'm going to buy me 2 of those. So I bought 2, kept one. I wore one live on that show that I do on Sunday nights. Well, they can see me because I'm on Facebook. They can see me. I'm a live video. And they said, one of them said, I want to buy that shirt right now, that Kaz Walker shirt. You auction that shirt off. So I actually sold that Kaz Walker shirt. So the other day I started thinking, you know, I need to go back in there and get me some more of those, because people really like the nostalgia of Kaz Walker here in East Tennessee. Oh, yeah. And I thought, I'm going to go get me some more shirts. So I walked in there, and you and him was sitting in the chairs. I said, you got any Kaz Walker shirts? And you said, no, I've sold them all. And I said, you don't have nothing. And you said, I do. I got one cap I can sell you, but it's up at the house, and you have to go up there. So it was me and my daughter, and we rode up there with you, and I've never seen a collection like you have in my life. Your house is like a museum, and you've got, Loretta Lynn's autograph, and everything. Amazing.
A lot of famous people. People give it to me.
And Lexi, my youngest, she has gone with me. She's done this now. This is half of her life. She's 19. And she has gone with me and witnessed all these places. Your house was very impressive to her because she sees all this. But to see yours, it's over the top, man. You had a little bit of everything. But we did find a cap, and I'm keeping it forever. I'm never selling that hat.
Yeah. We went up to the garage, and you bought
Oh, yeah, I did. I bought some stuff. Yes, I did. I bought some stuff from up there. I've already sold a bunch of it. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, he had some stuff to sell, and so I'm a dealer. I'm always looking. I go on that. Have you ever heard of that 127-yard sale?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I've been on that all for years.
Have you really?
Yeah, I've got my stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's where I like to go. Now, that you go way up, that thing goes all the way from Michigan to Alabama on the 127 highway that stretches all through the United States. And you can find old farmers that just want to clean out the house or clean out the barn, and they'll sell you stuff for nothing. And you bring it back here, and it's worth a lot, but to them, they just want rid of it, you know. So I love that.
One man's junk.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, I bought a lot of stuff. I got into Shoney Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You saw them, didn't you?
Yeah. If you find any more, let me know.
I bought them things. I bought them, and then I give them to that boy that worked there, and he's selling at flea market now.
Mm-hmm.
But I forget about 40 of them.
Wow.
And I bought them everywhere I saw them.
Yeah.
And then I found some over in North Carolina, over at Shoney's and over there, and they still had some in the boxes.
Oh, wow.
And I read about that guy that started Shoney's.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Big boy, yeah.
He traded his 34 DeSoto.
To start that.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it it's all on the box. You really.
Yeah.
The way it got its name was that people come in, they want a hamburger, and this guy come in and said, I wish I could get something that I ain't never had before. He said, cook me up something different. He was a customer from Shoney's.
Yeah.
And he said, make me a hamburger, put some extra hamburgers and stuff. Just make it, stack it up. Somebody wants something big. And he did, and they called him Big Boys.
Okay.
And that's where he got the name Big Boy.
Okay.
Because he had a little chubby boy that cleaned up for him every night. And he give that boy a hamburger every night to clean his, sweep his place out.
Oh, that's sweet.
And he looked at that and said, I got to name this something. So he said, I want to name it after you, Big Boy.
Yeah.
And that's where he got his name.
Wow.
Telling you, Big Boy.
Well, I didn't
It's
know
fun
that.
to, I mean, it's something to read on the back.
Right, right.
That's what really fascinates me is how something got started and
Where
what
it came
happened.
from, yeah.
And I remember your daughter's talking about them, what do you call them, polypops or magnets? Or,
Oh, she likes those refrigerator magnets. She collects all that stuff.
I'm going to try to get her a bag of them. I got a bag stored
That'll
somewhere.
make her day.
If I can get them, if I can
Yeah.
find them.
She wanted to buy those that day. She
Oh,
said,
man,
boy,
it
he's
was,
got the best refrigerator magnets in the world.
I collected black stuff, all the, all that stuff. I got
Black Americana, yeah. Yeah, we saw that. I had some, and, I've collected over the years, and there's some stuff that
a lot of Aunt Mama stuff.
Yeah, that I don't really sell, but I'll keep it as in my collection, So I do collect a few things.
I've had the ambulance driver come in there and I broke my hip or something. They come in to get me.
Yeah.
Up there one time when they come for something. They said, good night. I was thinking, good night, get me out here.
Yeah.
And they said, good night of all people.
Yeah.
And then see, I didn't take you back there, but down at the store, when we had soup day, we had a room for the politicians.
Okay.
And anybody that has a poster or something they want to put it up, we go back there and it's a situation room.
Okay.
So we got Democrats, Republicans, I don't care who he was,
Right,
if he went for office or if he'd been a senator, I go back to Harriet's room and just come on up. And I say, go back there. I think they're still back there, most of them.
Wow.
And I say, go back there, because we turned it into a dining room.
Yeah.
We had 60 people.
Wow.
A week we fed. And the situation, we had two nice-sized dining rooms, and some of them wouldn't eat all at one time. There'd be maybe 25 come in, then 25 more, but some of them eat in the situation room. And I never saw
nothing like that.
And at one time, I mean, we still got all the presidents of the United States up to young Bush, I believe. I believe that's where we quit collecting. Karen got all them for me, but we got all the presidents around the top back there in the guitar room.
Wow. What I like about what you have is the authentic things, because now they're making reproductions and stuff, but you've got the real deal.
Yeah, I got that green glass is jadeite.
Yeah, you got jadeite, and then I was showing you the uranium, because we sell a lot of that glows. I carry around in my purse. There's a blue light, a black light. You know how spooky haunted houses have a black light?
Yeah.
There's a lot of glassware now that Mamaw had or whatever made. They started making it back at the turn of the last century, all the way up through probably the 80s, and they've got uranium in it.
Yeah.
And if the uranium is in it, it's usually green. Some of it's yellow. Some people call it Vaseline glass, but you put that black light on it and it just lights up like, wow. That's the stuff that I sell on that Facebook Live. People fight over that. Yeah. I mean, fight over it.
And depression glass.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's depression glass, and, green usually.
Yeah, and I got, at one time, Mr. Walker had a complete selection of plates and stuff.
Yeah, that you could get. Yeah. Oh,
I got a bunch of that.
Do you?
I got. I think I got cups from about everywhere.
Yeah, I had somebody that really likes the blue circle, and they said, I know you do. I said, they said, if you ever find it, let us know. So, yeah, well, I know where you got some blue circle cups, but those are hard to find.
They're hard to find.
I've only seen them in all
Crystal
this time.
And
Crystal.
What's that other one?
I had some Walgreens ones when the Walgreens used to have a.
I'll tell you one I found at a flea market. Was the 50th anniversary for Rega's.
Oh, wow.
They had one cup sitting up there at their cash register.
Yeah.
And I said, what would you take for that? They used to, when you go in Rega's, you could buy them for $5 for cups. And I'd buy them and give them to my friends.
Yeah.
And I said, I need one of those cups. And they said, we don't have any more. And I said, you got pencils?
Yeah, sell it.
I'll give you $25. They wouldn't sell it.
No.
And we was down at the flea market in Oak Ridge,
Mm-hmm.
and this person come up and said, "Here, I got you something. Give it to me." So I said, "Man, how much you want?" I bought it over for $25. It's a 50th anniversary.
Oh, wow. That's
I've got
cool.
Weaver's
Cafeteria,
plate,
yeah.
Plate and cup and stuff. Weaver's restaurant and Jiffy. You remember Jiffy?
No.
Jiffy was big at one time. You remember, Ron?
No.
Jiffy was big. I got Crystal.
Yeah.
You know Crystal, but I got Jiffy, and it was real big at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Jiffy restaurants were.
You
Lord,
got-
I just got so many.
Yeah. That Loretta Lynn piece, that glassware. You said, I believe that's Loretta Lynn's signature. We picked it up. Sure enough, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So, yeah, you got some good stuff.
Well, I had some good, I've had a
Yeah.
lot. I've got something really rare Jake Butcher gave me, and I can't think what it was now. It's a book, autograph of somebody real famous. I've got there somewhere but
You
it's,
have to look for it, yeah.
I need to look for it, but Barney's supposed to be here. What time is it?
He sent me a message, said that he's still caught up in his meetings, so he's not going to be here.
He ain't gonna be here?
He said.
Well, he ain't never here.
No.
He said, "Tell David I'm still in meetings. I'll try and catch him at lunch."
Okay. We're gonna go out to, what did I say?
Captain Krabs?
Captain Crab.
Yeah.
Have you there yet?
I don't know where that's at.
Okay, you know where Krispy Kreme is?
Mm-hmm.
The next building was Denny's.
Mm-hmm.
They've
Okay.
They've redone, fixed it. Oh, it's nice.
I didn't know that.
And I like oysters, and they got, of course, the best in town is, what's that place up yonder?
Captain Galley?
Captain Galley's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Galley's got good food.
Okay.
And then they got the second best right there.
Okay.
We try to go out and eat somewhere every night, or me and my wife, or then me and him goes out.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Barney goes with us, and Harold's wife's been sick. Ron been to the hospital 32 days.
Man,
Oh,
I hate
no.
to hear that.
He says still touch and go, so I don't know what I was going on, but he's a real good person, good friend of mine. He's been with me for so many years.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of good friends down through the time. Let's talk a little bit more about what we got coming up here. We got a big show at your place.
Yeah. If you guys didn't hear about it, this is a 10-year anniversary. I've been in business for 10 years. I'm a sole proprietor. I'm the female-owned store. Been doing this now for 10 years, and we have a store in Powell, Tennessee. I actually rent booths out like they do, you know, in Clinton, how they have the different people that rent the portions of the building, and they bring in their own stuff. So I have over 25 different vendors in there that have their own things they bring in, and they've got a little bit of everything. Some of them have the collectibles, and some of them sell cars. We got a guy that used to play sports at UT, and he's got signed UT memorabilia in there. And then we got ladies that sell glassware, and some that, gosh, they've got lots of specialties. We got one girl that likes to do taxidermy, and you won't believe she sells raccoon paws. I'm not kidding.
That's funny.
And people buy them.
Wonder
She
what
said,
for.
I don't know. It's weird stuff, but she sells it. So I'm like, go ahead, girl, sell whatever you can.
That's it.
So we got a little bit of everything for everybody.
You used to put your tails on these.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, on your antenna on your car.
Now,
Yeah.
Barney said, you know, in Andy Grimm show, here's one here, 56 Ford, really nice new tires and raccoon tail.
Yeah, that goes with it. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Okay.
So that's the front end of the store. The back end is where I do Facebook Live every Sunday night. If you want to go on the Facebook page, it's Floyd's Antiques and Estate Sales. I drive a Scooby-Doo van, so look for the Scooby-Doo van in the picture, and you can follow us and watch that. You are not required to register for this auction. You can even just sit back and watch it. That's just fun to have people there, and everybody knows everybody, and they interact with each other. And I try to sell some good stuff on there Sunday night. But this car show that we're going to have is May 17th. That'll be around this, probably within 2 days of 10 years being open. And I invited David to come and perform, because I think of all things, people love the kind of music that you play, and it's better than the rock and roll, and better than the whatever new stuff, the whatever gospel. They want this.
We
they
play
want
a little
this.
bit between country and rap.
There you go. Yeah, country and rap. Well, they will love it. I've had a lot of people really excited. So the music is from 4 to 7. The car show is from 4 to 7, and no fees to enter the car show. And like I said, we're giving away trophies. I'm not giving away a ton of trophies, like for every year and all that. We're doing first, second, third, best in show, stuff like that. So. But yeah, show up. We'll have a good time. There's going to be food trucks there.
Yeah, we got good musicians
outdoor.
coming out.
I know, and outdoor vendors. They got people setting up tents that are going to sell their stuff outside the store too. And then, like I said, my neighbors that are beside me with the businesses, the lady has the Creekside Snow and sells snow cones. So we got that. The Fright Works people are going to be open with. They got some spooky stuff. They got their vendors, and they've got their gift shop open. And then we've got a guy that sells the unique and affordable home accents, and he's it's a lot of stuff that would be home interior. So he's open. You're going to be right in front of his building playing. So 1900 West Emory Road, Powell, Tennessee. That's a Saturday, May the 17th, not this Saturday, but the next one. And like I said, food trucks, vendors, we would love to have you. Even if you can, just stop by and grab you a bite to eat and listen to some music and shop for a minute and leave. You don't have to stay the whole time, but we just want to show everybody how much we appreciate it.
Get there for the celebration.
Yeah.
I want to tell them just a little bit of what our band is now. I have one of the best bands that I've ever had, I guess, or as good as I've had. A lot of good bands over through the years, some of the best. But we got Rick Campbell, great fiddle player. He's a great everything. He plays every instrument just like he does fiddle. And of course, he's an airplane pilot. And Ron took airplane lessons.
I did.
See?
Yeah,
We can all be friends
There
now.
you go.
Yeah. He's a teacher. He was a school teacher at something like 22 or 23 year old. We got out somewhere and made school teacher.
Okay.
He was a
County commissioner.
youngest
County
commissioner in the
commissioner.
state, wasn't he?
Yeah, in the state of Tennessee.
State of Tennessee, youngest commissioner. At one time, he's had all kinds of big jobs, but he's retired now, and he still wants to play music, but he worked for Bill Monroe, and Lord, so many of them. He just he played music for lots of them at Nashville. Of course, I worked a little bit with Bill, but anyhow, we got him, Dale McCurry. He worked for Dale McCurry for a while, and I'm sure the Opry and stuff, because he's, all of them works on Opry, but we got Ken Bonham. It started out with Johnny Paycheck. They was partners to start with. And you see him every Saturday. Now he's back on the Marshall Andy show. Of course, sometimes I'm on there. We've had old films now. They're running reruns and everything now, I think. With the past, me and Luke's on there quite a bit. And then you got Danny Hutchins, which is, he's overseas. He'll be back in about a week or two. And we got another Danny Hutchins filling in for him. We got the other one that worked for Three Dog Nights.
Wow.
And he's going to do Jeremiah at a Bullfrog.
Yeah, that's good. I like
Jeremiah
that.
was a bullfrog.
Yeah.
George of the World. That's
Yeah,
it, George.
yeah.
That's a pretty song.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song. We got him there, and we got a drummer. Our drummer is Kenny Bean from out here in Clinton.
Okay.
And Kenny's had an operation. I hope he's there. If he ain't, we got another one to sit in for him.
Okay.
And Dale T. Sharp. Dale T. worked so many years now for Dollywood and Dixie Stampede.
Yeah.
He started out with me.
Huh.
And that was just something,
Came back around.
Rick started out with me.
Yeah.
So many of them people started with me. But
And which one is the one that does Kenny or Willie Nelson? Who does that?
that's Dale T.
Dale. Okay. He does
Dale T.
good.
He can do a
He's
lot of
real
people,
good.
Yeah.
He sounds like Merle.
Oh, and
too.
we got some more. We better not forget Ethan from right over in here.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan, he's going to be there. And good Lord's willing, and we got, I believe, Mandy and Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
She sang good.
Yeah.
Mandy's real good. Mandy started me at 4-year-old.
No way.
Her mother was a comedian, and she worked for me, and so we'd put her on, let her sing. She had little dog ears, and she'd sing.
Muleskin.
Elijah, yo-ho. They did a movie on us, and those days they came from Knoxville, and these boys was trying to, they were going to be TV people. They had to do camera, and they had to go film a show somewhere. So they chose Ciderville.
Uh-huh.
Well, back in the 70s, or whenever it was they come after it, might have been 60s or 70s, they done it, but you couldn't see it nowhere. Yeah. Because they could get them right on TV, but they had to call us to come to UT and get in that theater, and they showed it to us there. I got some copies of that. That's really good. We got Tara. Tara's a real great singer, and she's supposed to be with us there. And we got some more guests. I can think of them. Chris, I think he's coming. You know, Chris doesn't.
Yeah, the little guy. Yeah. What is it? The Phoenix? What was it? The bird of paradise.
Floppy's nose.
Yeah.
He's been down Nashville doing a lot of guest spots on people.
Okay.
He's supposed to be there with us, and I hope I ain't missing nobody. Let's see. I mean, it's hard for me to remember this band. I got so many of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
We'll probably have some other guests too. We'll probably just drop in because we got a lot of friends that play music, and that's going to be the 17th.
Yep. Saturday,
17th. Want everybody to be there, and I think it starts at 4. Or is that when we play?
That's when you play from 4 to 7.
4 o'clock.
The vendors and the cars will probably show up just a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to come earlier that day. We're open at 10 o'clock.
I may bring one of my cars.
Oh, please do. I want one with the hog in it or whatever you said.
We'll try to bring the hog truck and the goat truck.
Tell him to bring one. He can drive one.
Yeah, I may get a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm anxious to see the cars myself.
Oh, I know. I know. We'll have some good ones. We got a lot of people that have really talked about bringing a lot of their cars, and a lot of them are classic cars from 50s and the 60s. So, and I got my old fire truck. You know, I said I was going to buy that fire truck. Yeah. It needs a lot of loving, but I bought it, I guess, a couple months ago up in, where was it, Lake City, La Follette? Yeah. It used to be the fire truck up there. It's a 1948 fire truck. It's sitting over there. It don't have
I love those little trucks, don't you?
Oh, I know. It's pretty. It needs a paint job, but it's nice. But it had to be hauled in on a wrecker. But I like it, but it's sitting out there so y'all can come get your picture.
That's awesome.
I need to paint on it something. I don't know what I need to paint on
it. I've got a 36 Chevrolet. It has the original, when I bought it had the original floor mat, the original paint. I've had it painted a long time ago, but it looks what it is. And it's got the original headliner and everything, the original paint inside.
Wow.
And so I think about painting, and I say, no, I won't keep it.
Keep
like
it like
Ron's
that.
guitar, keep it original.
Keep it, yeah.
But we got that coming on. And then tonight, let's see, today's Thursday, Friday night. Tomorrow night, good Lord willing, we'll be in Sneedville with the anniversary show with Rick Campbell. He booked this one. Rick booked some of them, and they just called me. I'm trying to get out of the business, and I can't get out. They won't let me. But anyhow, I enjoy making people happy in life, and I guess I'll have to do it for a little while longer. Hopefully, I can get out after this year, but we done got 2 fires booked.
And this.
Knoxville Fire, Clinton Fire. Anyhow.
Busy man.
But anyhow, tomorrow night will be a big show. We're bringing all the gang up there, and pretty much I reckon everybody that's coming. And seemed like it's one might not make it, but we probably have some guests too. We put them on out of the audience anywhere.
Oh, really? Tell them to get up there and sing?
Yeah, like when you're in a community, they get their people up there to sing.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
For 2 reasons. It really makes the community happy, and the next reason is I can take a break. I'm not hoggish a bit.
Yeah.
This old boy said, buddy. He talked real slow. And he said, they said, I thought go out there at Solderville, they'd put me on. Buddy, he said, they'll put you on. He said, I went out there, and David said, would you pick a banjo for a while? And he struck that banjo around my neck and said, he was gone for an hour.
Oh, wow. It
So
really made you do
didn't
that.
it?
Wow.
But anyhow, a big show tonight and Monday night. Is it just going Monday night?
I think so, yeah, at Wild Wings.
12th, is that right, Ron?
Yep, Monday the 12th.
It's Monday night?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Whew, I ain't sleep Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday night at Wild Wings.
Yep.
And you going to sing with us on this show too, ain't you?
If you want me to.
I want you to.
I'll have to polish up. It's been
I told
a minute.
you I'd hurry you to go with us.
I know, it's been a while, yeah.
But you'll sing on Wild Wings with us.
Absolutely, I can.
Absolutely.
We'll practice.
I want Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. I got him crazy.
I can do it.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you call one of your friends? Let's see who we can get. we'll get somebody to come over and sing with you. Who else in real estate business?
Oh, gosh. So we got a lot of different people
Clinton
we can
is,
get. Yeah. I'll get Bear up there. Get him to sing.
Does he sing?
I doubt he sings.
Does he sing baritone?
I don't know. I don't know. Bear sings baritone.
Let's get Barry to come over and sing baritone for your crazy.
I don't know.
I hope you listen to us, Barry, because you're booked. He comes. He
Yeah, I
comes over
know.
and
I told him. I said next week you need to come in here with us.
Yeah, and Jane
And say
Holt.
hi.
Jane Holt's over there.
Yes.
Think we'll come with us, Cheryl?
I told him, yeah.
Oh,
Because
I'm
he
glad
asked me.
to hear you.
Yeah, he asked me. He said he's got something today. He
Yeah.
runs around like a wild man.
I know it.
He's
I know.
always busy, so he said.
He's busy.
Yeah, he said.
He's got me to go do shows, talk shows with him at different places, like
Yeah.
different clubs. And,
Oh yeah. He's something
and
else.
he says the best thing you can do when you do a talk show, David, is say hello, say 3 words, and goodbye.
Okay.
They like, every time I do that, I had a really good deal just as COVID took over. They had hired me, this agency hired me to go to these livings
Yeah.
and do an hour talk show. I had just exactly what I wanted to do. They had me give me a list. We'll go, and they pay pretty good, and they say, you don't need a band. We just want you to go tell stories. And just at COVID come out, they called it, we're going to have to cancel these for a while. I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't get to do the first one. I was ready to do the first one when they canceled.
Yeah.
But that's something I really like, that Bears used me some, and different people. And Gail Martin booked me over, got me to speak at, I believe it was, she's had me speak different clubs. But this, I believe it was I don't know what it was, something here in Clinton. I forgot now, library or something. Yeah, I did it. And she's sitting there with me, and she said, where's your speech? And I said, I ain't got one. She said, you ain't wrote down nothing that you're going to talk about?
Nope.
And this little girl come up behind us, and she was just standing behind us talking to somebody else, and she said, I'm going to stay around a while. I said, Mr. WYSH is going to speak. I said, I can listen to him 24/7. And when she did, Gail said, where's your speech? And I said, I ain't got one. She said, oh, Lord. And I told him, I said,
you don't need
I
one.
just don't know what I'm going to talk about. I
Yeah.
got to see what these people want.
Yeah.
I walked up and I said, let me talk to you just a minute, folks. I'm glad to be here, and thank Gil Martin. But I speak on religion, education, romance. What I'm trying to tell you, I'm full of it. And guess what they hollered out?
Oh, what?
Tell us a Kaz Walker story.
Of
That's the
course.
first
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Anywhere I speak is tell us a Kaz Walker
That's
story.
right. That's right.
But anyhow, we got all these shows to do, and we want to see you over at Pal 17. You'll be with us again next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Talk
And
about
I'm gonna try to get Barry in
And
here too.
Bear's done booked, well, he knows it now. He better be listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess we've been doing about an hour, and it's about hour's enough, ain't it?
No, I could listen to you all day too. I like your stories.
Oh.
You got great stories.
Well, they get high after it goes over. That's what he cough drops.
Oh, yeah.
We're so glad to be here on this show. We want to thank Ron for letting us do this.
Thank you. Yeah.
How many long we've been doing this?
20-some years,
What?
25, 26
No
years.
way.
Oh,
Wow. That's
You know,
great.
I've done the fair when it was sponsored. E.T. was running this station. Stanley, we'll do the show for him today. He's had some sickness. E.T., if you're listening, we want to say hello to you. And he was a big deal over the fair, too,
Yeah.
And, but he had us to do the Red Man show, tobacco sponsors. Red Man
Okay.
tobacco.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Wow.
I'd bring in Nashville stars, Ellie White, Gene Dillon, and I'd bring in Johnny Free.
Yeah.
Oh, and I broke my leg
Big
on that
show.
deal. I've been knocked down a few
Yeah,
times.
haven't you? You
And I
get back
remember
up, though.
That's
I
right.
come in and done that fair on crutches. I fell
Wow.
and broke my leg.
Man.
And it was an accident that couldn't happen. I was building a fence. I had different places farms. So I was on a farm. This was my prize farm. I had a horse and everything. And I was walking, and I had a 5-gallon bucket. And I didn't know about these post drivers. I stepped up on that bucket, and I was driving post.
Yeah.
And I was walking out through there carrying the hammer in this hand, bucket in this hand. I saw some I didn't see him. I stepped on a marshmallow film. Somebody threw it over in there. Boy, I went down. I just thought, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
But when I went down, I didn't think about this. Head went it down, broke my leg.
Oh, no.
Split it open.
No,
main
no,
bones.
nope.
Oh, man, you talk about sick.
I bet.
I rolled around over the ground, and this girl was working for me. She couldn't drive nothing like farm tractor.
Yeah.
She likes to work outside. In fact, she just passed away, Ron, 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
I heard that.
And she
Rhonda.
was one of the great employees I had,
Absolutely.
too. My sister was the best secretary I ever saw.
Yep.
But anyhow, this girl had been with me for so many years. And she said, I like going to work on a farm or something, she like to get out. So me and her would work out together. She couldn't drive the tractor. They had to take the tractor to the barn. I got a shovel. I knew I couldn't walk on it. I was all tired off face. I hobbled on the tractor and took one foot and got in the dump truck.
Gosh.
She couldn't drive nothing. Drove it to the music barn, and we got a bunkhouse in there. So I got lives it now, but it's for the entertainers.
Yeah.
There's a shower and everything, and what we did, on a farm, you know how dirty you are and everything. So I jumped in the shower. They put a stool in the shower and took me a shower, and then went to the hospital, and I was so wore out. They x-rayed me and rolled me out in the hall, and it was on Friday, and they had all kinds of emergencies. And I slept for 4 or 5 hours before they got to me.
Wow.
And they come in there and said, "What's your trouble?" I said, "Well, they said I had a broke leg." I just sound asleep.
Yeah.
She pulled it up and said, "You got a broke leg on the computer." She said, "We got to do something about this." And then they started working on it after 4 or 5 hours later.
Wow.
But anyhow, that's just another story. One day I'll tell you about the rest of them. If we take if we take them 1 week at a time,
Yeah, you can go for
it's
a
gonna be
long
rough.
time.
All the things
24
that
years.
happened to me. But anyhow, we thank the good Lord we're still here, and we want to cheer you up, make you feel better if we can. As Barney said, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. If we can make you laugh, you ain't mad, maybe.
There you go.
If you don't laugh, you might not like us.
That's it.
And if you don't like nothing we do, don't worry about it. We'll go home with you for dinner and make it up. So we'll get to see you next week. Remember what Mr. Walker said. You be good to the Lord, and he'll be good to you. We don't thank Angela for coming by today. And Dustin over here is my right-hand man. I told him now he's my right hand and my left hand.
Yeah.
He's on the job 24/7.
Keep him going. Keep him busy.
Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from